What's going on, guys? Been a little while since I put up a video, but decided I'd get this out. And I've been waiting for a couple of years to finally go out and go to the range with my daughter. I don't get to see her very often. Her mom and I aren't together. I don't get to the point, so I don't get to see her all that often. When I do, I'd like to spend time with her. The whole purpose of this past weekend was to be able to go out and go to the range. I got the old Daisy 990 out with the 4-power scope, and I'm going to take her out and let her shoot. Went and bought a bunch of CO2s and took a whole thing of BBs with me and get out to the range. I find out the BB gun I've had since I was 15 or 18 doesn't work anymore. You put the cartridge in, it just leaks down. So that was kind of a disappointment. Then I said, well, I'm going to get old reliable out. So I got red out. Oh, somebody asked how I knew this was a 55 or a 56. I'll pop you in zoom mode there. See the star? 55, 56 did that. Those weren't available on anything other than 55, 56 Russians. Anyway, sorry, I hate to get off topic like that, but so I go to the range, we pop out a few rounds, I have some fun. I actually let Melissa shoot this, which is my ex. She's 5 foot tall and weighs 90 pounds. Believe it or not, she actually got my M44 out and shot and threw some 3-foot fireballs out the end of it and grabbed a lot of attention from the people at the range. Kind of cool, but anyway. Pull the trigger on this thing, and I hear click. Nothing. Shit. I eject it, and the next thing I see when I look down inside, see the powder? Wow, this camera's an even bigger piece of shit than my other one. No, I am shining this in the sun, so I can't see anything. I hope you guys can see it, but anyway, it's unburnt powder laying all over the place. Well, there wasn't so much as a click, a pop, a poof, nothing. So, you come down here and I stick my gun cleaner down the end. It is not coming out the end. This is the shit that caused me to drink. You know, I hate to bitch. I usually don't bitch on video, but all I want to do is go spend time with my daughter and possibly work things out with my ex. And yeah, I know exes are exes for a reason, but you go pop 15 rounds off and this is what you get. Man, that shit pisses me off. So now I got a bullet hammered in the end of this thing that I have to drive out. Fuck. Well, part 2 will be me jamming the damn bullet out of this thing. All I can say is I sure am glad that I paid attention to what was going on and didn't just rack out the dud and go for another like I have before. All I can say is it's a good thing I didn't. Oh, and in case you were wondering what I was shooting, Tula Specials. No more. Unfortunately, I've got 1,000 rounds of this shit sitting here, and it isn't worth having. This isn't the first time I've had this happen, but it is the first squib that I've had. Scary stuff. You know, there's 400 or 500 rounds in there. And another 500 in this little 30 cal can. What do I do with all this shit? Don't trust it. I mean, what if you're ever in a situation where you actually need it? Life or death situation. That's half the reason I bought this last SKS, because I wanted a good, reliable SKS. Something to, essentially a bullet hose. I don't know. So, anyway, sorry to bring you guys down so much, but part 2 will be me driving this damn thing out, but there's something most of you haven't seen. That's the back of my truck. Decided to build myself a little escape vehicle. I hate the term bug out vehicle, but Got my Coleman stoves, my ammo cans go underneath there. I got my tent, all kinds of junk underneath it, tarps up the wazoo, and got gun racks. And even though I live in Michigan, I still have gun racks. I just carry them disassembled, so all I have to do is throw the bolt back in and go. But anyway, all the creature comforts, even a thermometer that's not accurate. But anyway, let me see if I can get this thing fixed. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I am just going to use the SKS cleaning rod with the cleaning jag that comes in the cleaning kit. Your SKS came with one too, didn't it? Should have. I'm going to slide that in. Try not to beat the shit out of my barrel too much. There's where she stops. Next, time to get some kind of a driving device. Yeah, and then I go to grab my camera to throw it on the tripod so I can show you guys my wonderful misfortune. And of course, the damn bolt that hangs in the bottom of the camera mount somehow fell out. A little clip fell off of it, so now all I can find is a 1/4 bolt jam in the bottom of it, and it's as floppy as a dick. It's only 9:30 in the morning. I guess it's time to start drinking, don't you? Alright, so I'm not going to use a steel hammer to bash in the end of my SKS cleaning rod, so I don't want to use the aluminum one because as soon as I touch that thing, it's going to mangle it all up, and it's the only cleaning rod I have. That was easy enough. Oh yeah, I guess I should take you guys along, shouldn't I? Sorry, like I said, 1/4 bolt with a washer with an E-clip jammed on it. Well, in case anybody ever wondered what their 7.6239 Tula looked like, there you go. Alright, let's go back to the rifle. What's important here? Screw this stupid bullet. So, as you can see, I just had the jag with a rag, or with a mop around it. Actually, it wasn't a mop, I'm sorry, just a cleaning pad. But now I have to push this thing, excuse me, I have to push this thing back through, and I hate doing that. Beat the hell out of that rifling, but because the rifle's accurate for the most part. I just can't see very well anymore. And I didn't realize how bad my vision was until we were at the 100-yard range and I'm shooting, and it's like, holy shit, even with this bright red tip, I couldn't see anything. I might as well have been standing there throwing those damn Tulas at it. It probably would have worked about as accurately. But got Anna's bike all painted up for her. I looked all over the place to try to find a big wheel for a girl. I couldn't find anything. When I was trying to find one for my stepson, I looked all over the place, and all I could find them for was for girls. I couldn't find one for a boy. What's that? Luck of the Irish? But anyway, there's my old beat up truck. That's the cap I ended up picking up. I bought this actually at a pawn shop for $100. It was sitting on the back of another Ford. I said, well, I got to have me that. Inside it is a camper top. You can see it's got the light, and it's got a raised ceiling. I have some cheap LED lights there. I don't know if you can see them. Just some cheap Harbor Freight touch lights. I wanted just those regular tap lights like they had years ago. They used to sell them on TV, you know, tap it on, put them in closets and whatnot. So I just bought these. They work very well in the dark. Not so great in the daylight, but hey, what light is? I got my happy Phil Robertson pillow and my bug out bag, which is my large Alice pack back there, and some knee pads, a bunch of food, and that little backpack there is, I don't know if you can see it. The sun's blinding off the screen. I can't see anything. I'm shooting with a Kodak Z16, so there's a really shiny screen, so everything's reflective. But anyway, there's a little bug out bag. There's for my med kit. And this here is actually, I've never seen anybody else do this, but this here is actually a trash can just like an indoor office trash can made out of steel. And I cut a hole in the front of it. Focus. And I drilled a series of holes in the top of it. It works as a cooking stove, and it also works as if I'm trying to have a fire, a nice hot fire to keep me alive. Nobody will see it. And stealth camping is all where I'm at anymore. I hate people, and it's getting worse. I have a Coleman dual fuel, a hurricane lamp, a couple of cans of propane. It's funny because I don't even have anything that runs on propane, but you never know. My handsaw and some Harbor Freight junk, some silicone spray. Nothing special, but and my camp stoves. I bought one at a pawn shop for $10, and the neighbor guy called me one day and he goes, "Hey, I got one of those old camp stoves. You want one? I found it in the barn." I was like, "Sure." I got it home. He said he didn't know if it'd even work. I got it home. All I had to do was soak the leather pump in oil. Let it soak for, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, and then pumped it up. It still had the same fuel in it. It's been in it since probably the 70s. Because the guy that owned it was probably 85 years old and hasn't gone camping in 30 years. And pumped it up, hit it with a lighter, whoosh, up it went. Burns like a dream. It's like, wow, that's pretty awesome for me. So, it did have one little bit of good luck. I bought another Coleman light. I've really become kind of hooked on these things. But I bought another one. Oh, sorry, both of those stoves actually are both the same year, 1970. Which I thought was kind of neat. And that there's from 69, according to the dates on it. And it's got another diffuser on it. I can't remember what the name of the top of it is, but that is the actual genuine Coleman Pyrex glass. But I bought that at a pawn shop for $15, and as it turns out, the generator's shot, and I don't know what happened to the inside of it, but it's one of those deals I tore apart. I couldn't get it to work properly, so I said I will mess with it later and put it off to the side, and that's where it'll sit till I fix it. So anyway, finished cleaning this up. Have to hit it with the air compressor because I'm really not happy about all of that unburnt powder in there. But there, now you can see it. And a lot of it actually got dumped out because as soon as I saw it, I flipped the rifle over and shook it out, and here comes a bunch of black coffee grounds dumping out of the top of my rifle. I popped around, or the other 2 rounds that were left in the mag, and tossed them in the weeds at the range and walked away. Kind of stuck. We were there for 15 minutes, and it's an hour drive to get there. So, oh well. Well, thanks for letting me ramble, and hope I didn't piss anybody off too bad. Shit, I gotta go mow the lawn. See you guys.